for the interloper coming in as one of the interloper guys, the wave of celebrity guys.
I didn't mean it.
But no. But I mean seriously, to be embraced in this community, is really important to me, and to be able to hit the ball, well.
But you deliver,
right. But it really means a lot, because it is you're surrounded by incredibly skillful people who can do a variety of things, and I can do things within this bandwidth, but there are guys who can do things in
scary. But do you not find also though that you find that you're coming up with stuff? Excuse me, Mo. You find that you're coming up with stuff that surprises yourself.
Yeah, you get more latitude.
Wow.
Right.
Where did I come up with that?
Because with you, I mean, I'm thinking of 2 performances of yours specifically, Shaolin Showdown, where you're dojo, mostly cowardly, trying to be helpful. You find courage once in a while, and then on a show called Cat Scratch, where you're Mr. Blake, you're all bombastic and bravado. Similar voice print, but totally different characters, because you're a fabulous actor. And you're a fabulous actor.
Well, I know.
Anyway, no.
Amway's not just soap anymore,
folks. I can only change your voice somewhat.
But there's another skill too that, aside from just plain having to be good actors, there are certain specific techniques that are needed for animation voice work, and that are being
able to talk good,
that are grammar,
getting the word
grammar,
it's things like doing impacts and saying, okay, that line that you're saying, we've got to go down here, is read while you are going down a water slide at 300 miles an hour. So do it again really, really loud, and give us a couple of curves and stuff, and then hit the wall when you hit the end, and then fall down on the ground, and then slide some more. And all those technical things are things that you guys have learned to do too, that you didn't necessarily know from the get-go, but you guys picked this up as you watched guys like this work.
Stuff that we were doing in our room.
Exactly. Thrown out of high school.
What are you doing up
You
there?
just forgot, now you're remembering.
Are you doing impact sounds again, Wayne?
That's what I'm doing, Mom. Shut up.
Pinky? Oh my, yes! See, Pinky, music is dangerous.
Let's talk a little bit about how you come to, when you're recording, how you come to express what you want to without using the physical. In other words, you're not on camera, we're not seeing your face, we're not seeing your physical work. How do you translate that into the voice work? Mark, why don't you address that first, and then we'll ask you.
Why don't you address that first, Wayne? I mean, you said something to me that I thought was...
It's like speaking to a blind person.
See, now, I never thought of that
I'm
before.
mad at you! I'm very mad! Now, back off!
He's similar, but he's expressing it in a different way. I sort of... I have a tendency to want to color certain things and rely on a director like you to say, well, you can dial it back a little bit. I mean, you're talking about the technical aspects of performance, and I like solving puzzles, and to me that's a puzzle. Like you say, that was perfect, and you shave 3 seconds off of it. Well, that's a technical thing that you're going to just try to gradually speed it up a little bit. But I think one of the things that voiceover reminds me of is the purest form of storytelling to a child. It reminds me of telling bedtime stories to my kids, because sometimes you're going to sort of go over the top to try and make a point, knowing that you're not going to, as you say, you're not going to have the full physical. It's such a composite art, you know. You got to have the writers there, the artists hopefully capture what you want, and
well, in order, we're recording before the artists get to it,
right?
So whatever we can give them on the voice track gives them something more interesting to animate. So the more we can add to it in the initial stages,
that's a surprising thing when you meet animators that say, oh, we didn't know we were going to do that, but when you did the Christmas show and you were all swinging on the road, that's really, because I mean, I admire the artists so much. I mean, I'm a frustrated artist myself.
I can't draw stick figures, and when I see what these people
It's
do.
cool though when you talk to animators and they like certain people because they like to animate them.
Right. Yes.
You know, like a certain animator likes that voice.
Right.
You know, and I've had those conversations, and you're like,
well, animators see themselves as actors too, just as puppeteers.
Right.
And it's true. You know,
well, you
they're acting one frame at a time.
Right.
You know, so they've really thin sliced the process.
Finding the right movement to go with the emotion of the voice.
Right. Now we often have the animators, if we can, they're in the session while you're recording. And what I've often seen once the cartoon is animated is they've actually taken some of your physical motions, or without doing actual motion capture or any of that kind of thing, but actually just watched the actor perform and maybe use some of your physical expressions or your facial expressions or some of your physicalities as you've been working through the piece. And I always find that very interesting that you've actually, even though you're not really using your body, you are in fact using your body.
Yeah. I always
use
my body.
Of course.
Like when you were talking about, you're sliding down the slide.
Many people have used your body.
Yes, and I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. I'm a human being.
Maybe this is just the first time it's been out there. Surprise.
But I mean, I can remember, there was a Pinky and the Brain episode that took place in an amusement park, and we had to slide down a thing. And I remember acting it and lifting my legs off the ground and did this whole thing, and I physicalized almost everything.
Well, I remember we worked on Time Squad when I'm doing this big old redneck guy.
Right.
I mean, I'd do things like this and kind of look sideways at people, things like that. And I do think, well, for instance, that's a good example. If my character says, things like that, and it's written, things like that, I'll say, things like that. I lose the TH because that's the way M people talk. Not those people, M people.
Yeah.
And those are those little sort of colloquialistic phrases, things that make it more, to coin a hackneyed acting phrase, it makes it more organic. Yeah. And I think that those choices end up making characters more believable.
Hey, Gad, that man knows everything about you, Brain.
He's just been eavesdropping, Pinky. He doesn't know the first thing about it.
I know about the time you decided to chuck it all in order to train for rhythmic gymnastics.
Point, and they wouldn't let you compete because of the height requirement.
Oh, why don't you just pour salt on my festering wound?
You see, Brain, I make it my business to know everything about everyone, except for Charles Grodin.